Back in the 1980s, when I was in seminary at Boston University School of Theology, a very powerful series came out on public television called Eyes on the Prize, and it documented with very powerful footage and interviews the civil rights movement in America. And that title, Eyes on the Prize, which also comes from a gospel song, Keep Your Eyes on the Prize, Hold On, Hold On. That gospel song, that comes from an image in Luke chapter 9, verse 62, which is our verse for today. And this comes at the end of a little section where Jesus is now on his way. He has set his face to go to Jerusalem. And as he's going along, people are saying, hey, I'll follow you wherever you go. And Jesus says, foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. He doesn't have a house. He doesn't have a home. He's on the road. To another he said, follow me. But he said, Lord, let me first go and bury my father. But Jesus said to him, let the dead bury their own dead. But as for you, go and proclaim the kingdom. Another said, I will follow you, Lord, but let me first say farewell to those at home. Now, these previous two excuses, let me bury my father, let me say goodbye to my family, these are not unreasonable requests. And yet Jesus is, at this point in his journey, on his way to Jerusalem. There's no time for waffling, even about significant family commitments. If you're going to follow Jesus, you need to come and you need to follow me now, because he doesn't have much time left. And that leads to verse 62, where Jesus says to that person who says, let me say farewell to those at my home, no one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. Now, you all know that I've never had any experience as a farmer, and I know farmers now use combines that cost a ton of money and use geopositioning satellites and laying out fields. But back then, putting a hand to a plow, if you look back, you wouldn't get a straight furrow, right? You wouldn't get a straight line. And Jesus is saying, when it comes to the kingdom of God, we got to keep our eyes on the prize. We've got to hold on to the plow. We've got to do our work. We've got to do our part. I can't imagine it was easy holding on to a plow, following perhaps a team of oxen, and turning over the earth to be able to plant a crop. As I alluded to at the beginning, this section, which comes in Luke chapter 9, beginning at Luke chapter 9, verse 51, all the way through Luke chapter 19, verse 27, we have a section that is unique to Luke's gospel. And some of his best-known parables and stories are found there. And I'm always very grateful for Luke doing his writing and his work, because without it, we would have missed some of Jesus' best stories. Keep your hand to the plow. Keep moving forward with Jesus.